I'm Kathy Caprino, and welcome to my weekly video blog, Work You Love. Today, I'm taking a question from Tina all about what do I do when my boss is threatened by me and treating me terribly. So Tina asks, my boss is out to get me. I have more experience than she does. She's threatened by my work and my solid community of friends and supporters. She undermines me and keeps me from gaining exposure to senior leadership. I'm considering going to HR to talk about the situation, but I'm reluctant to take that step. What do you think? Wow, important question, Tina. I'm so glad you asked it. And I want to share this with you. Sometimes when we're going through these very difficult times, we think we're all alone in the world. And I want you to know that almost everyone who's worked for any significant amount of time has experienced something like this situation. Either a boss or a colleague that is threatened, negative, out to get you for what you feel is no apparent reason. So you're not alone. And I want to share tips and strategies from two perspectives. One, I worked in the corporate world for 18 years, and I was a VP and an executive director. I hired a lot of people and I fired people and had to write people up for inappropriate behavior and, did a lot of work around how do we build a culture that's positive. Secondly, in my work as a career and leadership coach and trainer, I work with HR folk all the time about how do we enforce constructive, positive behavior in the workplace. So that's where I'm coming from here. I want to share with you what I think are the 5 signs that you do need to go to HR or you need some form of outside help. And I want to read these to you because they're very important. The first is there is continued unreasonable, demeaning behavior that is apparent to everyone around you. So these are when you really do need outside help, that you can't handle this on your own. The second condition is you are experiencing verbal or other forms of abuse or mistreatment. The third is when your direct, in good faith efforts to build a more positive relationship have just failed. The fourth is when your boss is clearly standing in the way of your advancement for what you feel is no good reason. And the fifth is when the toxicity and the negativity of the situation are impairing your health, your well-being, and your performance. So that's when you need some outside help. But I would say this, before you go to HR, I'd like you to think about and try these strategies. The first is find a sponsor. Now there's a lot out there written about mentors and sponsors. I want to share this with you for a minute. They're different. A mentor is someone who's in your field, in your company, in your industry, who's 10 steps down the path, doing what you'd like to do in the way you'd like to do it. And you ask this mentor, you build a great relationship with them, and that's going to be covered in another video, how you do that. You don't just reach out to a stranger and say, will you be my mentor? But you ask your mentor for guidance and support and wisdom. A sponsor is something different. A sponsor has those mentor qualities, but is also powerful, has influence, has clout, has the ability to open doors for you and help you. So find a sponsor at work and ensure that this relationship is confidential and safe, but get your sponsor's help. Share the situation, get feedback about has this ever happened before, what could be exacerbating it, get their feedback. The second strategy is to investigate opportunities outside the purview of this boss. For some reason, if this boss is truly out to get you, the chances that you're going to thrive and grow under him or her are very slim. So look outside your department, outside your division. Look for another project you can be involved in. Find out if there are opportunities for your growth outside the realm of this boss. The third strategy is document what's going on privately. Document in clear, non-emotional, very factual language and terms what's going on with data and dates and events. Keep a log of everything you're experiencing, and this will help you get really clear on when these things are happening and if there are some potential triggers that you're not aware of. And this will also be important if you do indeed have to go to HR or a third party. And the fourth strategy is this: do everything in your power to improve this relationship. Now, I want to share with you what I mean. I do not mean in any way that you're attracting this or that you deserve this, but I do mean this, and I learned this in my therapy training. We are 50% of every relationship, not more, not less. We're 50%. And I can tell you this, I've had too, bosses who were terrible, colleagues who really wanted to throw me under the bus. I've had it all, just like you have. And now that I'm out of the corporate world, and when I look back, I see very clearly how I co-created some of these challenges. You know, I didn't intentionally attract them to me, but I co-created them. I exacerbated them. I was part of it. And my behavior did not ameliorate the situation, didn't make it better at all. So I want you to look at another thing. When we are feeling this kind of fear and negativity, there are two reactions we normally take: fight or flight. Fight, I'm going to fight that. I'm going to get back at them. They're not going to get the better of me. Or flight, I'm out of here. I quit. There's a third, which is calmly, in a centered, empowered, authoritative way, using all your self-mastery, trying to determine what can I do to improve the situation. And I look back and see now there are ways I could have done things and handled things very differently that would have brought about different outcomes. And I hope you'll take that strategy very seriously and ask your mentor and sponsor for ideas about what can I try that I haven't tried before to improve and shift this relationship. And here's a tweetable for you. If your boss undermines you, take control of the situation. You do not have to be the victim. I hope that's helpful. I'm sorry you're going through these challenges, but often these experiences are opportunities for us to grow, stretch, and gain control. Thanks so much, and I'll see you next week.